Already, ready? Good evening, and welcome to the September 26, 2016 meeting of the Board of Public Works. The agenda first would be to approve the minutes of September 12, 2016.
Motion to approve September 12, 2016.
Second. Made and seconded. All those in favor? Thank you. Well, I think that's 4 and
Right.
no vote, right? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Appointments, 6 o'clock. Bob Fernandez, contractor, regarding 13 Hathaway Street, a driveway violation. Come on, right up and sit in the red seat if you'd be kind. So we call those the hot seats. Yeah. Before you start, are you is your business in Fairhaven?
No, it's in the cushion.
Are you approved by the town for driveway installation?
Not for driveway, we didn't, and I apologize for that. We are drain layers, sewer, water.
Okay, all right.
We have, street cutting license.
I asked, I actually knew the answer, but I asked so that everybody would know if they had. So why don't you, I think we all know why you're here, but why don't you tell us anyhow?
So we were working across the street at the new home at 11 Hathaway. We did the water, sewer, and foundation, and the neighbors came over across the street and asked us to clean up. They had a little bit of brush, and we weren't even thinking that we were putting it in the driveway. It's our fault. So we went in, we grubbed it out far, brought in a little bit of gravel, and they wanted to put down some crushed seashells. And not even thinking that we weren't, because I don't normally do driveways, we don't do asphalt, we don't do concrete. So when we were asked to do, I was like, well, I don't normally do driveways, I give them away to the other guys to do that. So I never applied for license to do in driveway.
All right, well, if I might I'll go out of what I usually do, I think conservation, are you aware that conservation had an issue here?
No.
Yeah. Do you have that picture? Do you mind if I? No. I'm going to pass this picture around for everybody to take a look at. If you look to the right of this, I think that's where the conservation area is. And I'll wait for them to get around before I continue on. This is the little driveway they put. All they did, people I think were parking where this driveway is when you get to see it, guys. They were parking there and the grass just got all worn out and stuff. So it was probably muddy and things. So they just kind of cleaned it up and put a little gravel there. And we're going to put seashells on it just to make it, I mean, they really didn't do much of anything, okay? But I think the real rub came is that it's within 100 feet of a wetland zone, buffer zone. And so it became an issue with conservation. And
yeah, and because it's a driveway, it came to us.
yes,
Oh,
okay.
So why is it before? I mean, I know the driveway part, but
Yes. So I might say that after hearing this young man what he said he did and so forth, I don't think they really did that much. They took a thing that was muddy, took some mud out and put it in some gravel, and we're going to put shells on it. Something that routinely happens all the time, I think. But you know, with that being said, I'll let the board do their thing. You know, my feeling would be, if I could just say, and I just, my 1.5, go get the conservation part all fixed and get everybody all happy, come back and let us know what it is, and you know, in the meantime, maybe we can table it. At that time, we see what it is we're gonna do, based on what conservation says it does. That's just the way I think about it.
I don't think it's his problem.
I don't either, you know?
I think it's the homeowner's problem.
Yeah, so. You know, and even to the homeowner part, I think even that way, you know. But you know, whatever our choice is, whatever our choice is, our choice is. So
Conservation's also with it. I mean,
well, they're not yet. I don't think it's
let
been brought to
conservation
conservation.
deal with it, and then come back.
That's what I was thinking, that we just table this thing until conservation's done, and then we can make a decision as to what we're going to do. But that's my statement. And from there, anybody that wants to speak to this now, Mr. Watt, go right ahead, please.
I honestly don't think that we really have a problem here. And I don't even want to push the issue. You've paid the permit fee at this point.
Yes.
We do have your insurance on file, because you're on for other things. So in my eyes, you are an approved contractor. But now you know, if you're gonna do that, we gotta get you on that list.
Yeah.
But honestly,
we will go forward.
I think it's, is it $100 no permit fee? What is it?
Yeah, well, it would be $100 no permit fee, yes, the no permit fee is 100.
I think that we just apply the $100 no permit fee and we be done with it. I don't think that what the conservation has to say has anything to do with us here. And it's not gonna change the fact that he's already done this work.
Yes,
He didn't do it in conservation land, so it's not like he put a driveway in that area that you see in the photo there. I think that we just move forward with this and get it off our table. I don't see any reason for it to hold up here.
that's fine with me.
Yeah, the only issue, if I may, through you, is that the, whatever material you eventually put down, if it is seashells, whatever, it has to be approved by conservation.
Yeah, we didn't deliver the seashells. She was having the seashells delivered by somebody else. She just asked us to clean it up. And she has had the seashells delivered from Dearest and Son, so they're there. We haven't spread them. I said, I'm not doing anything till we come to the town meeting.
I would walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I'd say, listen,
Yeah.
I don't want any more
Exactly.
problems with this,
That's
with what you're
exactly-
going here. I mean, in my opinion, I would just vote to have the $100 driveway fee and then just move on with this.
Mr.
No, I mean, I don't see why it's in front of us either, only because of, it's really a conservation issue. You know, and they're probably, I was on the conservation before, and I don't know how it is now, but I don't think it's gonna be a big thing. I mean, they're just gonna go over there, they're gonna look at it, and they're gonna say, okay, you gotta stay so many feet, and then spread the shells or whatever, and end of story. But that's just my opinion.
He don't have to, he doesn't even have to.
That's not him, no, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, that's what,
Yeah.
if he was, be the one who was spreading.
And that's why I don't want to hold him up any longer on it.
Yeah.
I think it just, us holding up ties him to it for something
Yeah,
that somebody
get him
else.
free, get him free. Mr. Lucian?
No, I'm just referencing it, we had a gentleman that came in a couple weeks ago, he put gravel down, we gave him a $100 fine, that was it. So I think it has to be applied here. But once again, I believe that's a homeowner.
I'm sorry. I think the whole reason why, I mean, John Chapman was the one that saw this, obviously, that's why he took the picture. So the reason for the violation is not even considering conservation, is that there's not an apron.
Yes,
You cannot put seashells or gravel to the road. You have to have
Understand.
an 8-foot apron and then do what you want on your property. So
Understand.
that's the violation.
understand. Whether you choose to stay in that job or you don't is your business, you know?
We should just send a letter to the homeowner. If they
Yeah.
want the shells, they gotta come before us and get a waiver for
That's
8
right.
feet for the driveway.
Right.
Nothing to do with this guy.
That's right. So what's
I make a motion, he pays the $100 fine and he's done with this.
I think we should, I think the waiver needs to be signed by the homeowner, saying we're not responsible for damage on the ground for farming.
As part of the motion?
Yeah, so I think the waiver needs to go to them.
So why don't you remake that motion if you feel comfortable with that, Audie?
You do it.
You do it, Brian.
Motion to assess a $100 fine for the no driveway permit, as well as the waiver to remove liability from the town for plow damage.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor? Okay.
See you later.
That's it.
That's it, you're all done.
You want me to come back to pay the check or else fine?
No, you can secure another day. You can,
Thank you.
and again, you know what to do with the rest.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Should I be here now to put on the driveway list for future work or?
Only if you're gonna do a driveway.
Do you do asphalt though and concrete?
We don't.
Because you can't sub it out.
Oh, so we have to do the
Yes.
asphalt for the concrete?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll stay.
Yeah, she can
I'm
give
gonna
you that
pass this
info.
on.
Whatever you want.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving right along, Richard Hayes, Hayes Excavating, Blue Drain Land.
Yes. You know what it's all about now.
Now you know what it's about, yes. There you go. So, we have your package here. And, why don't you just give us an outline of what you want to do? And you see all your stuff here.
I got one of my contractors I work with, we work all over the place from Worcester to Boston to Kingston, obviously down here. He's got a client that he's gonna be building a house for. So we're gonna be tearing down the existing house. So I need to, obviously, the drain has to do the cut and cap, do the tear down, get the permit to move on to do this, and then reinstall when complete.
Good.
So,
Who's that?
Little Neck Road?
Little Neck Road?
What's that?
Yeah. Must be up in the corner of Carver.
You guys must know all about.
Good. Go down Boston to
Yeah,
the
Little
left.
Neck of Carver, that's just nice. Alrighty, well,
You don't know the address of the house?
It's 32, I think?
32 Little Neck?
I think that's what it is.
So basically, you're just looking to tear the house down and...
Yeah, then they're gonna build a new one, I just gotta reconnect the sewer and the water when they're done.
Okay.
Like I said, at this point, I'm looking for the cut and cap is
Yep.
basically to get the permit to do this.
this what?
No, I'm highly recommend, no problem.
Administrator,
Same.
Ms. Lucia?
Same.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve drain layers for Richard Hayes, Hayes Excavating.
Second.
Made and seconded, all those in favor? Easy enough.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving right along. 620. I think our 620 is here already. Linda Schick, sewer superintendent, regarding the digester hours of operation. Please, why don't you folks come right up and sit in the red chairs. I know before you start, I know there's been a lot of talk back and forth amongst different people, like, it's almost like you hear it in the wind, that, you know, should we be starting at 7 o'clock with the digester, or 7:30 or 8 o'clock, or whatever, and why don't you speak to that if you so kind?
Bob's been starting at 7 now, it's been close to 3 years. It's been a real asset for the department. He comes in, if Center grows early, he's taking care of Center Grove. He's already done most of his rounds by the time we get in at 8 o'clock. He knows if something's broken down, we can change the work schedule. We're going to be having a major project there, starting in the spring, the $8 million project with the clarifiers. All contractors start at 7 at the latest, and I wish we all started at 7, because it makes it so much easier to work on their schedule, but that's not in the cards for now, so. All I can say is it's been a great help to the department.
Well, Mr. Gomes, do you have anything you want to say?
Well, I was on vacation for 2 weeks. I come back, this was last Monday. I went in, turned my valves, pumped the well, put the waste, activated sludge on the belt. I go take my samples to the blower building, and I look, and they swapped over 311 onto 312. That's the air handling unit for the blowers. Pressure's a little high. Tuesday morning, go through my whole routine again, pressure's real high. Before 8 o'clock, the electrician takes care of that. I was already going over that, with all of this with him. When they come in, schedule was changed. That has to be taken care of. Bugs don't die. Thursday morning, 20 minutes to 7, I punch in around 6:30. I'm turning switches to load a Noonan truck, because they contract out to Cynical, or Cynical contracts, that one I should put it that way. But 20 minutes to 7, I'm loading the truck. So he was going after, long before 8 o'clock. Come in on a Monday morning, May. I got a note on my time card. Left the primary pump running. Sorry, with the operator's name. I go check the gauges in the sludge building. I should have had 2 loads. And at the time, they were $1,000 a piece per load. Instead, I get close to 7. Now I have to explain to my superintendent why they're going to be spending $7,000 rather than 2. Took care of that problem. Back up a little further. How about coming in on a Monday morning again? And you take a look, you do a summary page on the computer, digester's running. And I look, we should have told me 8,000 gallons from the day before. I got close to 50,000 gallons. Man left the pump running. They're on timers, but if it's a little thick, you can just put it on hand and pump it for an hour. Then you put it back on auto. And the timers, they kick on. And they cycle through about 9.4 times a day. Kind of what I get
their time cycle. Okay. Why they didn't blow, I don't know. Other than the fact that I do run them low on a Friday on purpose. These are the digesters. Because if it blew, that's not only the lines up top that you gotta flush out, the gas lines you have to flush out, your bubble you have to flush out, you've got 3 PRV valves, you've got 1 flame arrestor, and then you do a partial nitrogen purge. That's what you got.
Getting into details that.
Yes, okay.
Probably don't mean a
Okay,
lot.
so they.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that I don't go there as a joke and I don't take a nap till 8 o'clock.
Yes, yes. Well, if you're done, I have something I want to say. I'm full of first-time stuff here today, which I'm never usually that way. But I was one of the folks who thought that maybe that Mr. Gomes should go back on the 8 o'clock regular time schedule. I have to say that straightforwardly. However, I did spend some time between the last meeting and now to talk to people and kind of sniff around and so forth to find that a lot of what Mr. Gomes is saying is the reality. He'll come in the morning, start doing his thing, and find out that, oh, you know, this certain thing happens over here, so we need to do that. And so when Linda comes in, the schedule of what she was going to do for that day has then been changed because she needs somebody to stay at the treatment thing and fix something or do something. And so I think that my own feeling is, I think that it's not broke, and let's leave that part alone. And it probably serves the department as a real good thing. And so with that, I'll ask for other input. I'll start with Mr. Watt.
Mr. Gomes, I commend you, because I think that you know everything that you should know over there, and I think you do a fantastic job. I don't think that you're here because anybody's questioning the capabilities of the job that you do. Okay, right off the bat, that's not why. You guys are here because our understanding is you were coming in early for the digester. The digester needed you. So it was brought to our attention that the digester has been down and you're still continuing to come in at that time. So that's really why you're here. And I'm glad you're here because I think that it's good for us to have this communication sometimes that we don't even know some things that are going on. So some of the questions I have for you, and it really doesn't pertain to your time, it pertains to who was the person that wrote on your time card, sorry that I left this there.
You left the pump running, you mean?
Yeah, so, I mean, you don't have to tell me, but you make sure that this is known to your superintendent.
Oh, yeah.
So that gets addressed, because in my opinion, somebody writing on your time card, sorry I didn't do something, is unacceptable and should be reprimanded.
No, no.
Why are these things happening? In the afternoon, is it in the afternoon after you leave, that when you come in the morning and you're seeing this stuff? Like you were just talking about, you were saying that instead of doing 2 tanks a day, you were doing 7 tanks a day. Why is that happening? So we went from who was leaving something on and causing this to now, why would that even happen? That's a huge difference. It's not like you went from 2 to 2.5 tanks. You went from 2 to 7.
That's correct.
So you're talking like 300% increase
Yeah.
plus, which to me is blowing my mind right now. And I'm really curious to see why this issue hasn't come in front of us at this point. So it really isn't anything to do with your time, but I'm glad that you're here because I think you're opening up our eyes to something else that's going on. So my biggest concern at this point, doesn't matter if you come in at 2 o'clock in the morning and do your job, because I know that you're up there doing your job. You're not sitting there eating donuts and drinking coffee and watching TV. That doesn't cross my mind at all. I don't doubt that you got a punch list and you seem like you have a strict schedule of everything that you do. And I think that that's the vibe I get from you, that you're very professional in your job and you know exactly what you're doing and you take it very seriously. But I want to get some more input from you on what else is going on up there to have these situations that when you come in the morning and have to face that. So instead of just coming in and doing your normal routine, you're figuring out why you got 7 tanks when you should have 2. Or the other situation that you were talking about is there's another problem up there, and it has nothing to do with you coming in an hour early, and that's what I want to address I think that maybe at this point, we should table that and talk to that in executive session at another point in time. But just, you know, even, and I'd be more than happy to invite you back so you could speak with us and let us know what's going on. Whoever else has to get invited to that, I'm sure Vinny can figure out, but there's, to have a situation like that, to me, is unacceptable, and I wanna know what's going on with it. And, you know, honestly, I'm not pointing fingers, Linda, so please don't take it that way. Vinny, do you know that situation happened? Was this situations happen like that? That you should be having 2 tanks and now you're having 7? So instead of costing the town $2,000, it's costing $7,000? This isn't something that's small, this is a bigger issue. And if it's not brought to your attention, then I think that, you know, I don't even want to talk on it anymore. But I would like to talk about this in executive session.
All righty. How about Ms. Sturdivant?
You know, I agreed with what Brian just said. I mean, he just asked a lot of questions, and it's opening something, and there's something going on, but, you know, we just need some answers. It's an eye-opener. How's that?
Yeah, and I don't want to lose focus that what we're talking about here, folks, is the hours of operation.
Right.
Should his hours stay as they are, 7 to 3? Is that right? 7 to 3:30? Or should they become 8 to 4:30 like everybody else? And so, Mr. Lucian.
I think Brian covered most of the questions that we had. I don't want to keep beating this to death. If you come in and there's something wrong and you have to keep fixing it every day, then something's wrong prior to you getting to your job. So
I don't think it's an everyday thing. I think that it's a every now and then thing. Maybe it's 2 or 3 times a month or something.
a consistent basis, right?
Well, it's less than 2 or 3 times a month.
Less than
What
2 or 3
happened
times
is
a
man
month.
literally forgot. It's no other way of putting it to you.
Who's leaving in these notes? It's outside contract or
No,
something
no,
on
no,
weekends?
this was an operator.
It's gonna be somebody
Yeah.
outside.
An operator in the treatment plant.
Wrote it on his time card, so it has to be somebody outside.
No one should be touching
So I'm
anyone else's timesheets.
done. So,
I'm done with this.
yeah,
I make a motion that you can come in at 7 to 3:30 or whatever it is.
Second.
I second. I understand that. Made and seconded. All those in favor? Okay,
we'll
just
do
like
that.
just like it is. Nothing changes.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Sorry, Mike. Alrighty, I was 6:30. Sure. Sure, our 6:30 appointment is the Teamsters regarding sewer grievance. It's going into executive session. So I need, we're gonna reconvene.
Motion to go into executive session to reconvene an open session to discuss a sewer grievance filed with the Teamsters Union.
Second.
Mike Mastucci in favor?
Bo Hobson in favor.
Brian Watton in favor.
Kathy Stewart in favor?
Jared Lucy in favor.
Already. Items for action. A, Stan Tech Consulting Services Agreement for Comprehensive Flow Monitoring Program and Infiltration and Inflow Study.
At the last town meeting, or the annual town meeting approved improvements to the sewer treatment plant and to 2 pump stations. And also part of that was to continue with the infiltration and inflow study, pick up where we left off. That's cammering the sewers, that's repairing sewers that are found to either have cracks or folks are inadvertently tied in. We did some streets last year, up in the north end, Jesse Street, Daniel Street. So this is just entering into a contract with Stantec. Stantec's our engineering company. That was, remember the lady who came the last time, same company. She came here because that was a big contract at that time to do the engineering for, again, the pump station design.
Did I scare her?
And this is just for the engineering that's required for the I&I study, which was approved at town meeting. And this amount of money for the contract for the engineering portion of the contract is $172,500.
construction for an engineer.
Yeah, the whole contract for that, I was 800,000. The rest of the money for that.
Is that chapter 90?
No, that's sewer. That's sewer that comes out
Sewer
of,
enterprise?
yeah, it's either gonna be sewer enterprise or the borrowing. We borrowed $8 million, and altogether we're using like $8,600,000 change. So between the sewer retained earnings of $600,000 and change and the $8 million we're gonna borrow, we're gonna do all these projects. But this particular project is $800,000 in total and 172.5. So
Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to the engineering.
Any questions?
Motion to approve Stantec Consulting Services, the agreement for comprehensive flow monitoring program and infiltration and inflow study for $172,500.
Second.
Made and seconded, all those in favor? Opposed? All right. Item for action B, remote vote rules and regulations. I know I never speak. It's my day today. I tell you, I was asked a few days ago, before this thing got posted, should we leave this on there, should we take it off, what should we do? Because I don't think it's right for us to vote on what these regs should be until such time that the selectmen vote that they're gonna do it. Does that make sense? We're voting on what they should be, and we don't even know if it's gonna happen yet.
I'm not sure. I think we should present our statute that we want, and then when that gets presented to the selectmen, say, this is how we want it. Because if they go ahead and give permission,
Then we gotta come back to it.
that may supersede us at that point.
Supersede you anyways.
It's gonna supersede us anyhow.
So I think that putting forward our
Whatever.
regulations, they will take that into consideration and maybe use
Right.
that into their motion.
Right. Okay, so with that, somebody's thinking better than me tonight? With that,
Hoppy
Mr.
said,
Hobson.
he's thinking about it.
Mr. Hobson, go right ahead.
I'm with you on this. We shouldn't even discuss it unless they're gonna approve it.
Well, I agree with
What's
that.
the sense of discussing it?
I think that it's,
My personal opinion is I'm against the whole thing to start with, period.
well, that being said, that's irrelevant at this point in time right now.
Well, he's talking about he's in favor of making rules. I can make a statement that I'm against it.
Yeah,
The whole thing.
I understand that, but we've already voted to send it to the selectmen. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Hobson, it was your,
Yeah,
you
because I
made the
want to get
motion.
this over with.
Okay, so I agree, I already said, I didn't think we should
We're gonna make all
go.
these rules and regulations for nothing.
Not
Exactly.
for nothing.
If they turn it down, it's,
But if they say
If they say yes,
yes,
it comes
and
back.
these regulations aren't in place, then there are no
then we
regulations.
should send a letter to them saying, if you approve this, we'd like to make the rules and regulations.
Exactly.
If they approve it, so why make rules and regulations tonight? It doesn't make any sense to make them tonight, because you don't know if you're gonna approve it.
I'm okay with submitting a letter stating that since we supported it as a board, but
I
if
didn't
it's,
support it.
But,
you
but,
made the motion.
I made the motion to send it there.
So
I didn't
if-
make the motion to support it.
But because
There's a
it's going
difference.
to them, we can send a letter to them that if they do support it and continue on with it, we would like to regulate it as this.
If you're gonna send a letter
Yes.
to the selectmen, just make sure you say it's 4-1.
here's how I feel, I'm just, we're kind of talking out of turn here, but it's okay for this one thing, that's an important thing. I think that we're gonna regulate it, and we have the right to regulate it, do we? No. Okay, so we should send a letter to them. I don't think
Asking
it's.
to be able to regulate it if they approve it.
Yes.
I think they, from what I understand, it would be the selectmen that make the rulings, but I think what should be in place is that you people should have a list of what you would like to see. They could probably make the two together, you know what I mean, and come up with something
Yeah,
that
but
would work for everybody.
I understand, but they could also, based on the fact that we give them a letter say, we will approve this, however, we want to put in the approval that the Board of Public Works has the right to regulate it.
I don't think that,
Why not?
I'm
I
just,
think
I'm
that,
just
I
telling
think
you.
that, because we, to be quite frank with you, this isn't gonna be a 10, 15, 20-minute, half an hour discussion with the rules here. I think this is gonna be an extended time here, and I don't think it's wise for us to spend our time to talk about it
Okay.
unless we know what's gonna happen. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way, so please don't
You
get
gotta
angry with me.
understand one thing.
Just, I fully support the letter going, saying, hey, we wanna regulate it.
If they allow this, they're allowing this for every elected board in the town of Fairhaven.
Exactly.
They're not just gonna allow this for the Board of Public Works. You got people on appointed boards that go to Florida, out of town, for long periods of time.
Yeah.
But they're on an appointed board. We're talking about elected officials leaving for 3 or 4 months that wanna vote.
Congress does it.
That's why it's all screwed up, Congress.
You know, all I'm
That's why
saying
they're gonna
is,
elect Trump.
I think a letter to them is sufficient. That's just the way I feel. I mean, we have in here the things that everybody wanted, right?
Motion to send a letter to the statement asking if they do allow remote vote, that our board is able to regulate the stipulations.
I'll go on with that.
I'll second that. All those in favor of that? Opposed? Okay, it's 4-1. Guess who the one was? Okay. Alrighty, so, that's good. When are they voting on that? Does anybody know?
No, what I mean, we need, you know, without being disrespectful, you need to decide what you're gonna do, and then we can send it to them to, I thought that the reason why we were doing this tonight was so we could send this to them and say, these are the regs, so it wasn't just kinda like.
No, this is gonna be for every board in town.
I'm not saying that they're gonna approve it.
They're not gonna approve it for the Board of Public Works, and not approve it for the planning board,
And you may be-
Board of Health,
you
and
may be-
everybody else.
You may be right, I'm answering this question.
So then it would have to be everybody putting it.
Right,
We
right.
all have to agree.
Based on this question.
Every board.
I
Every
thought
board.
that we were gonna list, you know, hey, we're requesting this to be on the select board again. And these are the do's and don'ts, you know, if you folks approve this.
Let them approve it first.
I thought that's what we were gonna do.
He just made a good motion,
No, so, we'll,
and we voted on it. What were we
If the
even talking
select
about?
board approves it, then every board is gonna have to come up with regulations. And then
Exactly.
we all
So
have,
should
then the
we-
select board has to agree on that as well.
should I, or the department send a
Yes.
letter asking them to put it on their agenda?
Yeah, go ahead, get
For
it over.
consideration.
I think
Because
so.
you can't have rules just for the
We
Board of
would
Public
think
Works,
this
it's
is
not the
that-
planning board, it has to be
No.
everybody.
Tell them we're ready to.
Yeah, all right.
I think the regulations
It'd be a
have to be a
remote vote for-
unilateral regulation. Can't be, this board,
Yeah, you
Public
can't-
Works
no.
has regulations that are different than the
It'd be
regulations.
remote vote
that are different
for,
from that one.
and then
Yeah,
everyone.
You know,
exactly.
If I may, I thought, and I could be wrong, I could check the minutes, but, you know, I attended that meeting. I thought that they had mentioned something about that, or sometime since then. They had mentioned that they wanted, they wanted some kind of,
If the selectmen meet
Put it on
and
their
say that that's what they
agenda.
want, then we'll do it.
okay.
Tell them to put it on their agenda and we'll show
Yeah,
up.
I thought it was already,
Let the ones who
Placed on-
want it talk
Check it
about
out.
it, and let the ones who don't want to talk about it.
Boom.
okay,
So place it on the agenda.
yes, let's not beat that to death anyway.
I'll be glad when this is over.
Me too.
One meeting or this?
No, this is,
No.
here's been going on for over a
How
year.
you heard last time?
This has nothing to do against, this has nothing to do against anybody in particular. It's just that-
I understand, I understand. Maybe, or maybe it's 90-10.
What do you mean 90/10?
Okay, nothing, that's, you're right.
I got nothing against somebody getting this. If they get it, they get it.
That's the way I feel too.
Right. You know, I just don't
Okay.
think it's right.
They just
My
need to make a
opinion.
decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Make-
get it over
Get it
with.
over
Just do
with,
it.
right.
Yeah, well, we didn't put it on their agenda because we were waiting for this.
No, I know.
I have to go and do it. I have to be the one that goes over and tell them that I want to be put in front of the board again, and I will do that.
But
I mean,
she's
I can get
not
you on
the, is she the one that has to go in front of the
Yes.
selectmen?
Why?
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 She's
We're
the
not
one who
doing
has to
this
do
for
it.
one person, we're doing it for everyone.
The
You guys-
board is the one that's bringing it
You
forward.
guys voted 4-1 the last meeting to.
To bring it to the board.
Selectmen.
But not to have her.
So you
bring
don't
it
have
the
to do
board.
that, Kathy, I'll do
No.
it. The only reason I
Yeah.
didn't do it yet is I thought it was gonna come with, hey, we'd like your consideration for a remote vote, and here's the do's and don'ts associated with it.
Right.
We're done with this.
That's what I thought. So I'll just ask them to put
Get it on the agenda.
Oh.
Kathy can certainly go.
Anybody that wants to attend,
She
can
needs to
attend.
go.
That's right,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
On the
Okay.
Old
question.
business.
Okay, so now, board members, superintendent, old business, new business, I'm gonna start with Mr. Hobson.
Oh, jeez. All right, I was down, Fort Phoenix.
Pokemon?
Well, it wasn't even about Pokemon. But like 7 o'clock at night, it's very dark down there. That whole place has no lighting at all. But what goes on there at night? Our side of the parking lot has no light. The other side, it's like, now you go over to Bedford, they got the whole dike lit up. You understand what I'm saying? You have to go down there at night and you see our parking lot, you see all the cannons, you see, there's no lights down there. I mean, I think it would be a very good idea to light the place up.
Isn't that a police person?
Even that, but
Isn't
I'm
that
just
the
saying the
police
parking
person
lot
to
and
light
the
the
entrance to the cannons, it's pitch dark down there.
Any kind of street light or whatever falls under the police, but you
Yeah.
can ask.
Isn't there a light on the?
Well, it's our,
You have to ask I mean, if you wanted
Yeah.
like a street light, you'd have to ask town meetings. We don't have money in the budget to pay for any more electricity.
well, that's something we should be looking into for the next
But I can
special
tell you
town
that
meeting.
the
Right.
person that used to live down there was totally against it.
Yeah, but
because-
these lights are gonna shine not towards the houses. I want lights to shine towards the water and the park.
Right.
Go down there at night, you won't believe how dark it is.
Isn't there a light that's on that,
There's one little light down there, you can't see nothing.
can we upgrade the light? Maybe make it a
Well, the
little bit?
historical people pay for that, like that's near the cannons, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They pay for that.
there's a shock. I don't know if we could upgrade it to an LED light or something.
Well,
Well, I can tell you from
You need more than
experience,
one light down.
I can tell you from experience that you have to go to town meeting to request a light to be placed. They have to go to town meeting to put it. And then
No, you don't.
following that,
you don't.
you have, the police department is the people who schedule the installation of the light because Eversource doesn't do it, the town does it.
So can we submit an article requesting some lights in the parking lot on our side?
Sure,
Of course.
sure.
When I owned Hoppy's Landing, I had 2 lights on the causeway put up, shining towards Hoppy's Landing. They sent me a bill every month. Okay? I paid for the lights.
Eversource put them up.
Yeah, and they
Yes.
sent me a bill.
That's right.
Every month, they
If you
sent
want
me
it
a
to be,
bill.
if you want it to
on
be a private light,
The lights are on the
Eversource does it.
causeway now.
I just talked to Eversource today, that's how I know.
Well, the light that's at the West Island parking lot, the park department pays $38 a month for that floodlight.
Well, that's not much money for the protection you're getting from one light.
Right, right, so it's a pretty easy thing. I actually know because my wife had an article in the last town meeting, to have a street light put at the end of, the pole at the end of our driveway, because we're the only ones there in the winter in the whole block, and it's extremely dark there. And I just found out that the police are the ones that do it, because I've been going through trying to figure out, well, you know, town meeting was several months ago, 5, 6 months ago, where's my street light?
Yeah, she's mad at you.
Yes, she is angry with
She
me.
stopped me.
She-
She asked
she
me
went-
how did she get her street light? She's married to you.
She went to the select board today to find.
That's where I sent her.
Did you? Thanks, I mean.
How else are you gonna know when something's done?
I'm surprised you didn't send her there.
I wasn't listening. Alrighty, so that's,
You owe me.
thank you. Mr. Watt.
Yeah, just wanted to, I had a resident at 9 Green Street who submitted a request to the tree warden to remove a tree from his curb. Almost on a daily basis, he's picking up branches. I guess it's a bus stop on the corner there. And there's branches that are consistently falling, trees entangled into the power lines. 9 Green Street. He's called Eversource, they came out and did their typical,
Is that the house with the big wall around it?
has a wall around it and a white fence in the
Yeah, I know.
front.
The tree dead?
90% of it's
Trees are
dead.
pretty tough trees.
Not only is it dead, it's also uprooted the sidewalk, and it's a real thing. He has called the tree warden. The tree warden has not responded to him. So if we could just put a little push on that, maybe just to get back to him and look into it. And then any luck with those properties in East Fairhaven, because those sidewalks are now not even existent. The vegetation is now growing into the street. It's bad.
Yeah, Kathy got me the address, we actually I sent a letter.
There's 2 areas. There's the
Well,
one.
just one that,
There's one right before the abandoned liquor store, that basically, there's a house on the corner there, across from the elementary school that's remodeling, they're doing siding. From basically that point, it goes around the bend where New Boston Road comes in to the liquor store. That whole area is flowing over the sidewalk into the Route 6. And then if you continue up a little bit more, it used to be a Remax real estate office up on the right-hand side. It's not, it's called something else now, but there's another stretch right before that that's doing the same thing. So now it's, you got people going around these bends, because they're both bends, seeing the vegetation come over, and now they're swerving into the other lane, which is on a bend is already tight. I saw a couple guys on bikes jump off the curb just to get around it, so now we're taking pedestrians from the sidewalk and putting them on Route 6. At nighttime, you can't even see them. There's barely any streetlights in that area.
I saw that.
At this point, I think it's more of a safety issue that maybe we do need to step in and get it taken care of. As much as I want to put it on the homeowners, I really think that it needs to be addressed right away, because calling to the state, I don't know how long that's gonna take, but I don't think we have much more time. It's really, I mean, now that it's dying back for the year, it's starting to fall. So it was standing upright. Now it's falling, and it's falling into the street. It's bad.
Yeah, just give me the, whoever owns that other piece of property that he's
What's the other piece of property?
It's across from Mike's, directly across from
Oh,
Mike's
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah, okay, yeah.
That stretch of the wood line there.
Is that Brent?
That's all I have.
Mr. David?
I got a call from once again Fifth Avenue, down on the bottom with marshes. On the right-hand side, people cut it with their lawnmowers, but on the other side, it's all overgrown and it's growing over into the street, and it's making it difficult to see.
Ms. Lucian?
I had Mr., I want to say Medeiros, John Medeiros from the North Haven Improvement Association. He had asked me about possibly getting the bottom of Brown Street. I think there's some intersecting streets on there that are all dirt roads to get on a paving schedule at some point. He said he had discussed it sometime in the past, but I'm not really sure if he actually has.
I talked to him last week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So-
what happens, when the board's considering the roads, so you know, we get a lot of $300,000 every single year. Typically, it'll be the same.
One road, two
and-
small stretches.
Right, and at that time, we asked for folks to, we actually had his, he was in front of us, I think last year or the year before, so it's on the list, but yeah, at that time is when the board considers, usually in December, for what we're gonna submit to town meeting for May 7th.
And I know we're going to be, towards the end of this year, planning for next year's paving schedule. Can we just be mindful of the Fairhaven Father's Day race route? Because last year was, all of Alden Road was dug out.
Yeah, I spoke to John about
Yeah.
that. He actually coordinated that with, it just was bad timing, but whoever, his name escapes me right now, but John had covered everything with the guy who runs the overseas race. If you said the guy's name right, I'd say, yeah, that's it.
Mr. Days.
Yeah,
Does Mr. Day still run? He still runs the
Or
race?
Donna does, I think.
Yeah, one of the kids.
but anyway, but yeah, no, it was just because we were doing all the road
Yeah.
at the time, right.
They just dug it up the Friday before Father's Day.
Yeah.
And the race was on a Sunday, like it could have
Right,
waited
right,
one more
right.
week, whatever.
Right.
So every year, Jared, there's a road schedule that we get to approve the roads for the next fiscal year. That we get 30 roads, and usually, they're rated as the worst and how much they cost. So in the 300,000, usually we do one big road for like 150, and then we do two $50,000 to $75,000 roads. So it's usually 2 to 3 roads.
Yeah.
But if somebody submits an article to town meeting, then we'll take that into consideration. I think, what was it, Cape View Street this year came in?
Yeah.
There was a bunch of people from Cape View Street, they came in, so when that road was in front of us, because they had sat in front of us with a list of signatures and everything, we submitted that one. So there's a little process that we try to take into consideration.
That's all I got.
Couple of things. West Island, they were doing work on Duloc Road today, the highway department. Something to do with the drains?
Yeah.
Was that just to get ready for winter, or was it something to do
I
with?
think the rain was clouded or something.
Okay, a couple of different drains, yeah, okay. And the other thing is on Bridge and Mill. If I'm on Mill, facing towards Route 6, I come to the stoplight, where Mill and Bridge are. Okay. If I'm heading from the dead end part heading towards Route 6. I come to the stoplight where Bridge Street is.
Okay.
If you look to your left, like you're gonna look to see if there's cars coming, there's a tree about 100 feet down on the left-hand side that's got all the vines and stuff and everything growing on it. And it's so dense that to take a right on red, you start to go out and you realize you just didn't see far enough, there's a car coming. It's very dangerous.
You did this before when I used to live up that way, I used to complain.
At the
about
same
that.
one?
Yeah, you couldn't look left, you couldn't see anybody
Yeah,
coming around
it's
that
on
bend.
Bridge.
That's right.
In front of Joe
It's on Bridge
Armiso's
itself.
shop.
It's on,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
on Bridge, it's about 100 feet or 150 feet from that intersection,
Yeah, west.
heading
rather.
east.
Yeah,
Heading east, and when you're heading east, it's on the left-hand side.
yeah.
Yes.
Just tell the tree.
It's the beginning of the property before that solar farm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Tell the
yeah,
tree warden to trim.
yeah,
Yeah, send it to the street department.
yeah, yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
want touching the trees, we get in trouble when we touch trees.
you're right.
Well, like we're not now.
Alrighty, so let's set the date for the next meeting. Do you have anything you want to say? Okay, let's set the date for the next meeting.
How this young man, waiting around.
10th?
No, I just asked.
The 10th is 2 weeks,
That's
October.
But the 10th is a
Oh, yeah,
holiday, I
it's
think.
Columbus Day, right?
Yes,
I think Vinnie said the 17th.
17th it is.
Motion to set the date of the next Board of Public Works meeting, October 17th, 2016, 6 PM here.
Second.
Made and seconded, all those in favor?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Made and seconded, all those in favor?
You can do some of that.